It's a beautiful day in the woodyard. You saw I just did a delivery, and that load that we had in the trailer that I backed into the garage at one of my good customers was loaded yesterday. And I delivered it this morning, and it works out great for me to do that. And today I want to talk about something that came up that I think a lot of you will be interested in. We're going to talk about the market, the firewood market. And I have a saying that I heard long ago, and I use it quite often. A lot of people don't understand, and I'm going to say it and then explain it. When it comes to the market is the market, and you can't change it. That's what we're going to talk about today. Now, I have two people that I've talked to just recently. I talked to one 2 days ago, and I talked to one about 2 hours ago. And the reason I'm bringing this up is it's on my mind, and it's something that a lot of you ask me about, and I think I've got some pretty good information I can share with you guys and explain things for those of you that are in a really good market and those of you that are in a really bad market, and explain to you why it is the way it is. I've mentioned this many times on my channel. As far as the market being the market, there have been guys that have told me that what they think is the most valuable thing to selling firewood or having a lot of firewood is to have a big woods and have a lot of availability of trees so that they've got product to sell. And that's a good point. However, if you don't have people, you don't have a market. And the reason I'm bringing this up is the guy that I talked to said that he's in a very rural area. I'm not going to say the state or the name of either of these guys because I don't really have permission to tell you their personal information, but I can give you the general idea of what we talked about. And I think it'll give a lot of you a lot of information that you can kind of get in your mind and relate it to where you are in your place, in your market, with what you're doing. So the first guy I talked to was, like I said, it was a couple days ago. He's in a very rural area, and he's got lots of trees. But the problem that he has, that he doesn't even know that he has, because he was saying, how can you even make any money selling firewood? He only gets $45 per third of cord or per face cord. And I said, at that price, why are you even selling wood? I wouldn't even bother with it. Find something else to do. He said, well, that's kind of the going rate in my area, $45, $50. He said, most everybody else charges in his area. He said, everybody in his area charges $50 to $60 for a third of a cord. I said, you can't make any money at that price. That's insane. Because for what it costs you for if you're buying logs, you're going to pay that much for the wood, let alone cut, split, dried, delivered. You're losing money. And for what you have to do all that, your chainsaws, your splitters, your trailer, your truck, whatever it is you're doing to process that wood to get it to market, you're losing money. You haven't actually put a pencil to paper and figured out, what does it cost you for gas? What does it cost you for maintenance? What does it cost you for wear and tear? What does it cost you to buy the trailer? What does it cost you to buy the splitter? What does it cost you to buy your chainsaws? What does it cost you for all the stuff it takes to produce that wood? You're losing money. If you can't make at least $70 to $80 a face cord or third of a cord, that's just starting to be profitable. And that's if you're getting your wood basically for almost free. The example I can use is my brother Ken in northern Wisconsin. He gets $70 to $80, maybe $90 if it's delivered, for a third of a cord. But he gets most of his wood for almost nothing. And the reason he can get it for nothing is he gets free wood given to him. He has contacts in the logging industry where they'll just get rid of wood because they want it gone. He has guys that he will go cut wood for. In exchange for his labor, they give him truckloads of wood. So his cost of goods, cost of materials is very low. So he can do it at that price and still make some money. But if you're doing it at $45, $50, $60, I don't see how you're making any money. So another guy that I talked to just a couple hours ago, he's from out east, and he is in a market area, and I asked him, I said, how many people are within 10 miles of where you are? He said about 1 million. He's in a market. He's got the bodies. That's what it takes. And I said, so from what you've told me, and I know what he sells there, he's doing like $50,000, $60,000 a year, I think is what he said in sales. And he just does it on the side. It's not a full-time thing yet. And he wants to grow 50% for next year because he's only been doing this, I think, 2 or 3 years now. He does about $50,000 a year in sales, and he thinks he can grow to 75 this next year, and then he thinks he can grow to over 100 the year after, and he thinks he can just keep growing. because he's trying to decide what kind of equipment to buy. And I gave him some advice on what I would do if I was him. I said, in your market area, with your availability of customers and the price that you can charge, because he's getting $150, $160 for a third of a cord, and he sells out every year. All of his competitors that he's talked to are out of wood, and it's Christmas time right now. He's out of wood already. So I'm kind of thinking he needs to up his production big time. So if he's producing 100 full cords a year, he needs to go to 200 full cords a year as soon as possible, like this year, because he'll sell out again next year. So he can double his income, double his production, and then probably the year after that, he could probably double it again because he's got the market. And like I've said many times, that if you're in an area where there's not very many people and lots of trees, you're not going to sell very much firewood unless you've got a lot of really good contacts, you've been around a long time, and you provide a superior product with superior service to those people. You deliver the wood, it's exactly what they want, it's a good quality product that's dry and ready to burn. Yeah, you probably can make enough money to live on, or it'd be a good side hustle. But what you really need is people. Like my good friend Del Gue said in Jeremiah Johnson, the movie, Mama Gue says you got to go where the people's is. And that is a fact no matter what. And unfortunately with firewood, it's not something you can put in an envelope and mail it away, or put it in a cardboard box and mail it away. Yeah, you can do some small stuff, but if you want to do volume, you got to go where the people are. And because wood is a big, bulky, heavy material item, it's something that you got to be fairly close to where it's going to go. So if you're in a market area that has got millions of people, you're going to be able to sell a lot of wood. Now I have another friend, and I can't name him because I've talked to him personally. A lot of you know Phil from Woods Firewood, I gotta think where he is. He's out east somewhere. I can't think, Vermont. Is it Vermont? I think he's in Vermont. I know you're gonna tell me where he's from. I cannot think of what state he's in, somewhere out east. He's got millions of people. He will only deliver to a very short, small area, like within 5 miles, because he sells out every year. He can't produce enough wood fast enough. He's got the same problem. He needs to produce more product so that he can sell it, and he can't get it fast enough. So he actually needs a processor. And the guy that I was talking to a couple of hours ago, same issue. He needs a processor because he needs to go from handling every single piece with a splitter, a hydraulic splitter. He's got a good one. But he needs to get a processor so he can process more volume faster, so he can grow faster. The market is there. And that's at the point that it's probably a good investment or a wise decision to borrow some money so you can get into the market faster. And I've always been bootstrap it, build as you grow, reinvest your money. But he's at the point right now where he talked to his advisor, and his advisor, whether it was an accountant or financial advisor, said, you need to buy a processor. And he wanted to talk to me about what machine to get, what I'd recommend, what size. And I think he's at the point where he needs to go probably not just one step up, he needs to go 2, 3 steps up. Instead of getting a small processor, he probably needs to get a mid-sized processor so that he can produce wood fast and have it ready as fast as possible. And then if he decides that he wants to downsize, he could easily sell that machine. If he wants to go to a bigger machine, he could do that. But a machine at that level is a very good investment. And he probably is at the point where he needs to do it now, as soon as possible. He needs to get going on it right now. Because as you know with firewood, it's not like you produce it and you sell it. It's you produce it and you sit on it and you sit on it and you sit on it. Yeah, you can turn some kinds of wood over in 3, 4, 5 months, but it's not like you're going to produce it today and ship it out tomorrow. It doesn't work that way unless you've got a kiln, but that's a whole nother level of investment, a whole nother level of being in the right market and being able to distribute it. But with what I'm doing, I can produce wood if it's the right kind of wood, if it's soft maple, if it's ash, if it's box elder, if it's cherry, that kind of stuff. I can sell that stuff within 2 to 3 months of producing it. Hard maple, hickory, oak, that takes much longer. Your turnaround time is definitely expanded because of drying. Unless you're selling to a market where you can produce it for heating and you can ship it to them, deliver it to them, they can come get it, and you can turn it over really fast because they're willing to invest in a half of a semi-load or a full semi-load, and then they're going to sit on it for a year or 2 years. They just want to stock up. And that's the case where my brother is. He's producing big quantities for people. He delivers most of his wood in June, July, and August. And then people have it for the winter. I'm delivering wood like crazy right now, and we're in the middle of winter. Today just happens to be a beautiful day. It's 40 degrees out right now. Awesome day to be here. 4 days ago, it was 0 and 30-mile-an-hour winds, so it was 30 below. So we had a 70-degree temperature change. And when it comes to your market, make sure that you've got people to sell to, or if you can get it to them. You gotta go to the people. The market matters tremendously. We're gonna load up a load of wood. This is going to a guy that ordered wood 2 weeks ago and he wanted it delivered tomorrow. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain. So I called him this morning and said, hey, if you want your wood today, I could deliver it today while it's nice out and it would be nice and dry for you because I'm gonna back right into his garage. And he said, that is awesome. He said, I'll be home in 2 hours, deliver it. So I'm gonna load it up right now and we're gonna go deliver that load. All right, it's woodchucking time. I returned to the wood yard after that delivery, and on my way back, I got another phone call from a guy that said he just called his regular guy to get some firewood and he's already sold out. And he referred him to me. So it's somebody that knows me that's in the area. So that's a good thing, I guess. He wants 2 face cords of mixed hardwood, 2/3 of a cord, gonna fill up the trailer, go do another load. Another example of why you wanna be in a good market area. More peoples. Gotta go where the peoples is. There it is, a bunch of wood is in the trailer, ready to go down the road for another big dump. Kind of steamy too because the wood's got a little moisture on it with the sun hitting it. I've been seeing some steam come off, the evaporation. So it is steamy wood today after all. To load. So we're gonna load up some more wood. I just got back from that delivery and I've got 2 deliveries for sure tomorrow, maybe 3. And my first one is at like 10 in the morning, so I'm gonna load that one up. And then my second one I think is at 1 or 2. I'll load that one up. And the reason I'm gonna do it tonight is because I want to get it done. Number 2, it's gonna rain. First thing in the morning it's supposed to start raining and be nasty out. So I want to get these loaded and I'm gonna park the trailer in my garage and keep that dry. And then deliver the truck one and then the trailer one, and so that's what I'm going to do. So I think tomorrow I've got 3 deliveries. I'm not sure. I think it's 3. And these 2 are going to be loaded. They're both for oak, so I'm going to put in some of this white oak, and then right next to the camera over here there's red oak. I'm going to put some of that and kind of mix it up. So that's what's going to happen. So people just keep calling, people keep texting, people keep emailing. The wood just keeps going and going and going. So the wood that I just delivered, the guy you saw that I dumped in his garage, brand new customer. He had been buying wood for years from the same guy, and he said he's just not doing it anymore. So then he got a referral to another guy. He got 1 load from him, and the guy said, well, this is going to be it. I'm out of wood now. So do not run out of wood. That's a bad thing. Then he called me and he said, how much wood you got? I said, well, left, probably I'd say 100 face cords, something like that, maybe 200. I don't even know. I got a bunch of wood left. He said, wow. He said, so in 2 weeks, can I get another load? I said, absolutely. I said, just call me. I said, if I get low, I'll let you know and I'll bring some wood. So got a new customer and he seems to be a regular guy. So if he wants 2/3 of a cord every 2 weeks, that means that he's burning quite a bit of wood. He must have a fire going all the time. He says it's a fireplace and he just works from home. So that'll be cool. So let's get some wood in the trailer and some wood in the truck. Look at that, it got dark on me. So the hour and 15 minutes of daylight ended. This time of year we get almost, it's the shortest day of the year, like in 2 days. Hardly any sunshine now. It just goes so fast. It's only like 4:15, 4:20, and the sun's gone. But I got it loaded. This one is ready for tomorrow. That one's ready for tomorrow. 2 face cords, 2/3 of a cord, 2 extra rows in there. We got a face cord, 1/3 of a cord in the truck. Gonna deliver it tomorrow. And I'm gonna take this home and I'm gonna park it in my garage because it's supposed to start raining during the night, early in the AM, and I don't want this to get wet if I don't have to. So I do that a lot. So I'll take this home and park it in the garage, and tomorrow I can leave it in there until I go do the delivery, and maybe it won't be raining then, but at least I made an attempt. So there it is. Tired, hungry, wet, sweaty, hot, tired, all that stuff. I'm going home. Good night, Irene.